Hello, 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 everybody. Oh, we got 20, up to 24. Oh, I should probably mute this. Oh, okay. Well, at least I can hear myself. All right. How are we today? And on this fine Friday afternoon, I apologize for the early stream, but it is what it is. Just want to do a quick sound check to make sure that people can hear me okay. Uh, yes, Poe, go. You're not part of this. You had your moment. Um, so how do I know it's fine? Well, it's fine to me, so I guess if it's not fine to you, then I'm sorry. So yes, go Knights. Yes. So, ah, anyways, well, I screenshot. Well, first, what to all the new rookies out there, I'm sorry if I haven't had a chance to get to meet you guys yet. My name is Enoch, and just to give a little introduction to myself, I am the GM of the Major League team, New York Voyagers, and uh, amongst other things, I handle the sim team, which does the stream and the file and whatnot. And just I used to be the GM of the minor league team, the Kansas City Hepcats. This prospect showcase. I believe this is the seventh iteration of it now. It's 7 times since I started doing it back up. Back in I think it was season 22. I could be wrong. It's been a while. So it it has been really fun to do, and I hope that it's fun for everybody else, because if it's not, then no point for me to do it. uh, yeah, the Knights have Jose. That's an instant favorite. So the joke is that there's a inactive person named Jose that shows up in the that has shown up in the rosters every single season, and for some reason his team wins. So we'll see if that trend continues. I did screenshot the rosters last night, and it's in the main. I didn't publish all because it only allowed me to publish like 10 things and then tell me, oh, you gotta wait an hour to do it, and I wasn't about to wait an hour just to do it again. But we'll go through here and we'll go through the teams really quick, and let's bring this up. Bring this over here. And so, first, I'm not going to go through all the players, but first we have the Atlantic City Aces. And they, I, yeah, so this is their rotation. And we're going to go by, I'm going to kind of go through how we're going to run through this, but all the teams will have 4 starters, and Knights of Jose, not for the Knights. Oh, no, 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 no. Burr is just here for my jokes, which is really not a lot of it. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, Burr. And just a quick peek at their lineup. This is yeah. So every team has 19 players. Not all of them are from this draft class. Obviously, we don't have enough to fill 4 teams. It would be awesome if we did. But the rest of it is filled by former inactive players. You could call them bots if you want, of 100 TPE just as fillers. And so, and next up we have the Boston Terriers. Uh, and you could just kind of see and the pitching. So, and then the third team is the Brooklyn Knights. And oh, and this is something new for me. Uh, and this is something new for me because of all the time I've been doing this. This is the first time that my player actually is in the prospect showcase, which is really cool for me, I guess. Um, like when I first joined the league, there was a they did rookie showcase, but they stopped along the way. I forgot when they stopped, and it wasn't until I think they stopped in like the early, like maybe like season 12 or whatever, and I didn't start this back up till like season 22. So so I was my original player never had the chance to be in the rookie showcase or whatever it may be. So, but I was told that this is something that really fun, and the most encouraging thing that I got from someone was that they were kind of wavering if they wanted to be in the league, and this one, this showcase from last season was what kind of confirmed that they wanted to be part of the league, which meant a lot to me because like I'm honestly we're just kind of having fun just to watch some fake baseball. So and oh uh Bark, there were no GMs this season. So so I used to have GMs pick the teams. Uh, I got away from that because that actually took a lot more time than I really wanted to, and I had to like babysit people sometime here and there. And really, the way the teams were picked is that they were there's a I have a spreadsheet of all the draftees, and odds are they were placed there in the order they were created. And one team got this, one team got that as I go down. So this is just how it came out to be. And uh, then we have the last but not least, Hartford Hawks and the lineup. So now, did I not show off the? Did I not show off the Knights lineup? I'm sorry, Knights lineup. So yeah, this is Jose right here, right here. Uh, so I'm really sad that we have a user named Van who loves this. Well, he loves the off season streams between the Tahani and the prospect bow, as he like to call it. And he is on vacation right now, and he wasn't able to. He's not able to join us, but his player is named Jose 43 Senior, so he loved anybody named Jose. So I'm sorry that he's not here with us right now. Hopefully he could watch the VOD later. So yeah, so people are gonna play out of positions, just uh, it won't work out perfectly. So but anyways, how we're gonna do this is there is a there's 6 games that are quote unquote the regular season. All it does is kind of just puts team into place team into an order, and then you're going to go into a playoff format. It's going to be a best of 5 followed by a best of 7. Now, with respect to time, obviously we're not showing every one of them, or else we're going to be here forever. What we're going to do is I'm going to choose 2 games for the regular season, and then in the playoffs we're going to show the elimination games. So there's a chance that it could go long. There's a chance that it would go really short. Um, but yeah. Um, anyways, so we're gonna get straight into this, and we're gonna go. All right. I just realized I probably should have gotten myself some water beforehand. So whatever. Yeah, Rip Fan. Yeah, he's back tomorrow. Something like that. Who knows? Let me see. I'm gonna just to make sure. So his first one should be Terriers, Aces, and then we need Hawk Knights, which will bring us to Hawk Knights for the 18th. Okay, so the 18th. Okay, so the rest of the games we're gonna quick sim along the way, and we could so I can go get you. I appreciate it. That would be nice. I don't know how you're gonna get it to me, but that would be nice. But I would probably step away for like a second to get some water. um, so we're gonna just kick this off. We're gonna start with the Terriers and the Aces. And these are all base 100 TPE builds, so they really know there's some that are better than others, and possibly not. The difference is so minuscule, if anything. OOTP has a way to favor one, and by no rhyme or reason why they favor one or the other, but whatever. Here we are. And let's see, I just want to make sure all the settings are right. Let's see, player size, 160, very fast. Now we're going to disable that. All right. I still have to. Oh, I do. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that was up. Good call, Nate. Sorry about that. I don't see on. Yeah, I missed that on. It's just tiny. So let me. I'm just gonna. Oh, there we go. I'm just gonna shut that off. Yeah, sorry, Sarah. Probably sorry for the cruel reminder. Um, all right. All right, we're gonna kick this game off and let's get us started. All right, leading off it's Cole Seltzer. And he'll fly out to center field, and there's a base hit by Latavius Jackson Jr., the center fielder. Jerry Rice is up next to Becky Quinn, and he will hit this one up the middle for a base hit, and that is first and second with one out for the Terriers. And that is a hits batsman as DeRosa will move down to first. So bases loaded, one out for Boston. And that will be a ground out. That's one, that's two, and that's a double play that Tyler Knox hits into. And that will end the top of the first. So Becky Quinn gets out of it after the bases loaded, wanting one out. And Iodele grounds out for the first out. I'm going to butcher some of these names. And Addison Bond will hit a slow grounder to second for the second out of the bottom of the first. Krishna will sky this one towards left field, and that is out. And Beta Bombs gets a clean 1-2-3 inning to start the game for Atlantic City. So now Boston back up, and that is a ground ball to third by Barney Stinson. Larry Jones will hit this into the left field shout. Oh no, he dropped it. The left fielder dropped it. Oh no. Well, and so but Quinn will strike out Tremaine for the second out, and that is a base hit by Glovery, and so it's 2 on, 2 out for Boston. Seltzer coming up, and he will hit a fly ball to left, and let's see, and he will make the catch this time to retire the side. No score still. Bottom of the second now with Johnson, who dropped the ball before, Frankenstero and Argyle, yeah, and a little weird pop up by Johnson for the first out. Frankenstero strikes out looking, and that is Beta's Bomb's first K of the game. Argyle will hit a weird little foul ball pop up to the third baseman for the third out. So still nothing for Atlantic City after the second inning. We go to the top of the third with Latavius Jackson coming up, and he will get a base hit again. So 2 for 2 for Jackson. Off to a nice start. Jerry Rice comes up, and he will get this up the middle, and that is first and Jackson moves to third, first and third. And that is a ground ball, but there's really no throw, so Boston takes a 1-0 lead on an infield single by DeRosa. Tyler Knox coming up, and he will walk, so Quinn having some issues here. Bases loaded, no out, but she strikes out Stinson for the first out. And Jones coming up, and this will be a fly ball to left. Let's see if we send a runner, and they will. And the runner will come in to score to make it 2-0 Boston. As DeRosa advances to third, and a pass ball, a little wild pitch. Yeah, wild pitch, and DeRosa comes in to score. So it's now 3-0. And that is a walk to Tremaine, and now Glovery will come up. And that is a base hit past the shortstop, and Knox comes in to score is 4-0 now. And a fly ball to center. A diving catch by the center fielder to end the inning. So Becky Quinn got into trouble. Well, I mean, it's not good. So Stradley pops up to the first baseman for the first out of the inning. Conrad gets a walk. And now Scott Williams will get a base hit for the Aces' first hit of the game. And a slow grounder that get a Dele out, and Bond coming up, and a slow little roller to the back to the pitcher, and he'll get the out, and that will end the third. So Boston still up 4-0. Yeah, Fever. Sorry, not a good start for Quinn there. And that is a base hit again for Jackson. 3 for 3 in this game. What a start. Jerry Rice up, and that is a ground ball. 1-2. He hits it on a double play. And this one's hit deep by DeRosa, but that will get back to the warning track for an out. And Quinn has, I guess it's technically a 1-2-3, but it retires aside, and we move on to the bottom of the fourth. There will be Krishna, Johnson, and Frankenstero coming up. Krishna hit a ground ball to third for the first out. Johnson will strike out swinging for the second out. Frankenstero coming up. And he will strike out as well to end the inning. So, Beta Bombs having only giving up one hit after 4 innings. Knox hits this one fairly deep, but to the center fielder for the first out. Stinson is up, and that is a weird loop foul ball for a second out. Quinn is still in there, and she'll walk Jones. And Tremaine coming up, and that will be a base hit, and Jones will move to third, so first and third, 2 outs. 9 hits given up by Quinn, but she's able to get Glovery to fly out to end the inning. Oh, I'm sorry, Breeze Ladrian came in. I missed that. Sorry, came in for relief Quinn before. So, but nevertheless, we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Argyle leads off with a single. Dusty Stradley comes in, and he will ground out to third for force out at second. IKEA Radio, is that how you say it? I guess so. Will fly out to right for the second out of the bottom of the fifth. And Scott Williams gets this one under the shortstop for a base hit. And this one is hit deep, and that's gone! Aodele gets a 3-run shot, so this is a game again. 4-3 Boston. 393 feet. And this one is hit fairly deep, but to left, but that will be an out for Addison Bond. And that will end the fifth. So we have ourselves a ball game, 4-3 right now. Breeze Ladrian still in there, and that will be a grounder. Seltzer grounds out to the shortstop. Jackson seeing it, he will strike out, and he is finally out after getting 3 hits in the first 3 at bats. Jerry Rice coming up, and he will strike out against Ladrian. And to end the top of the 6th, bottom of the 6th we go. 4-3 Boston. Beta Bomb still in there. He'll get Krishna to ground out to third for the first out. Johnson will hit this to right field, kind of shallow, and the right fielder makes the catch. Frankenstero will strike out swinging. Beta Bombs, that's his 4th strikeout. And that will retire the side. We'll move to the top of the 7th. DeRosa hits a ground ball back to the pitcher for the first out. Tyler Knox will sky this fairly deep to center, back to the warning track, And center fielder will make the catch. And a ground, oh, nope. Ground ball by Stinson, but is bobbled by the shortstop. And that will, well, that would have extended the inning a little bit, but Jones flies out to left field for the third out. So we will go to the bottom of the seventh. Still 4-3. And Argyle coming up, and this will be a fly ball fairly deep to right fielder, and he will make the catch. Stretley will strike out for the second out. Baderbaum's still in there, 6 2/3 pitch now. Let's see if they're gonna take him out or not. Guess not. And Conrad strikes out swinging, and that will be Baum's 6th strikeout of the game. And that's the end of the seventh, and we'll move to the top of the eighth with Tremaine, Glovery, and Seltzer coming up. And Tremaine getting a base hit to lead off the inning. Glovery coming up, and he will strike out against Ledrian in his third inning of work. And Ledrian will strike out Seltzer. That's 2 outs now. Jackson coming up, and he will ground out to the shortstop, where he will go to second for the easy out. And we'll move to the bottom of the eighth, 4-3. Let's see if Boston can hold on to this. As Hiro Ono comes in to pitch. And that is a base hit by Scott Williams to lead off the inning. Iodele, who hit the 3-run bomb before, will get this one back up the middle for a base hit. So it's first and second, no out. Addison Bond coming in, and a shallow fly ball to right for the first out. Krishna is up, and he will strike out swinging. So now it's 2 outs with B.J. Johnson. He will take the walk. This is bases loaded, 2 outs for Frankenstero, and this will be sky to center, but it looks like the center fielder will make the catch. So the ace is threatening, but doesn't get anything out of it. And we'll move to the top of the ninth. Boston up 4-3. Jerry Rice leading off. He'll ground out to third for the first out. DeRosa coming up. And the pitcher is Maxwell Reed, by the way. And DeRosa will ground out for the second out. And Tyler Knox will get this one over the second baseman's head for a base hit. 2-out knock for him. And Stinson coming up. And Stinson will take the walk. And so 2 on. And that is a wild pitch. Yes, a wild pitch. Runners move up. So second and third, 2 outs. And Jones will strike out to end the top of the ninth. We'll move to the bottom of the ninth. The Aces is down by 1. Let's see if they can get anything going, or will the Boston bullpen hold this down. Conrad Freeman is in for Boston, and he'll get the first out. But Stretley will get a single, so it's 1 on, 1 out with Conradio coming up. And Conradio will fly out to the center fielder. And oh, he went! Oh my goodness! Oh, he tried to take second on a fly out, and that's how the game ends on terrible base running. Oh goodness. Well, yeah. Terrible base running. Well, so all right, let's take a look at the box scores here. Boston. Oh goodness, my Boston accent is coming back out from way back in the day. So Boston. Latavius Jackson Jr. To Plantain. Latavius Jackson Jr. Leads the way with 3 for 5 of a run score for Boston. And Jerry Rice had himself a 2 for 5 day. Bottom of the lineup, Tremaine and Glovery both had a couple of hits too. But they only, they one of the runs was unearned. Atlantic City side, Iodele, I think that's how he had that 3-run shot in the fifth off of beta bombs. And that was really the only offense that Atlantic City really had. You could kind of see just offers down the line from that top of the lineup there. And Scott Williams, 3 for 3 on the bottom of the lineup. So on the pitching side, beta bombs did go 7, struck out 6, gets the win. Oh no, gets the hold. Bregman with the save. Quinn with the loss over there on the Atlantic City side, and the player of the game is Beta Bombs. So I'm going to save this because. Uh, oh yeah, I would like to mention it. Like you could do absolutely terrible in the showcase. Don't take anything away. This is so random because everybody is pretty much at the same level. Uh, and don't think that one how you perform here in the game has no bearing on where or how you're gonna get drafted. So if you have a terrible or if you have like an incredible showcase, this is all for fun, really. So yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, you're 3 for 3. It's a great start. So all right. So we're going to go over here to the second game. We're just going to quick play this. The next game we're going to show is actually on the 18th, where it'll be the same teams playing, the Knights and the Hawks. But we're going to quick sim the other games so we could get there. And we'll just take a look at how players are doing. Oh, wow. Okay. The Hawks absolutely destroy the Knights 12-0. And, and they chose and they chose the second, fifth, and the eighth to do it, and not show up for the other innings. That's fun. Uh, but if my prospects are doing amazing, there's nowhere to go but up from here. Sure. um, I would like to. I know that there. I I I know that like I have I don't remember like what player is attached to what user right now. I have an idea of like a few of them, but so like Zach, I actually forgot that Billy Nelson was you. It actually, I probably should have known that or remember that, but anyways, um, on Brooklyn's side, there is nothing that went on with this offense. Just absolutely nothing. And the goat himself, Jose, is the only one that had a hit. And then Zach, I'm sure they have cat scouted you. I assume I wasn't too involved in the scouting this season. Um, on Hartford's side, you have Carrillo with a 3 for 4 day. Sill is that Sile? Sill? Sile, I think it's Sile. 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Jones with 2 for 5 with an RBI. Why? Did I double up Jones here? Oh, I might have made a mistake. I don't. Uh-oh. Oh, whatever. Oh well. Um, let's see. Todd with a 2 for. Oh yeah. So it's a couple of hits for Hayes and Todd too, and 4 RBIs by Micah Williams. So very nice day there. Cap penalty gave up 5 unearned runs. Wow, that sucks. Um, and Doofenshmirtz gave up 3, and Mosley gave up 4. So just terrible pitching all around. But Colton Hagen, yeah, Colton Hagen with 7 innings, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks. And Walrus Jones coming in for the last 2 innings, striking out 3. So very nice days for those guys. And the player of the game is Colton Hagen. How do you get 1 run and no RBIs? Well, you you well, a run is when uh someone else knocks you in. Not so you can get on base and you can score a run, but you never have to. Yeah, an RBI is when you hit the ball and someone else. Yeah, so for you to get an RBI, you need to get a hit, and for the other person to score. So for to get a run, for yourself, it's the other way around where someone gets a hit and you come in to score. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be a hit because you're going to get a run regardless. So, all right. So I'm going to go here. So a great start for the Hawks there with that trouncing of the Knights. And we will move on to the next day and we'll do some quick sims here. So let's see if the Knights can bounce back. And the Knights do bounce back with a 3-1 victory over the Aces. And the Aces, with a couple of hits up top by Eldeli and Bond, so a good start by Eldeli. And over on Brooklyn's side, John Montroy with a 2-for-2 day, couple of RBIs. And a Jack Pint with a 2-for-4 day. Not too much else in the middle, but that's all they needed. And because of pitching, this is Adrian King with 5 in the third. Takes the loss though. And on Brooklyn's side, Petra McPitchyface with 5 2/3, giving up 1 unearned run, striking out 7. So good job, Petra. And the bullpen locking it down with Evo Dictator getting the save. Yeah, that's right. Look at my 1 inning of incredibleness. So, well, welcome, Michael Williams. Yeah, you got yourself a grand slam there. Congratulations. Poe, don't be jealous. The Evo Dictator is incredible. So, and this is not even a good version of him. So, um, all right. And the player of the game is Petra McPitchyface. So good job, Petra. Well, Poe, I was number 2 overall, and you know, my first go around. So, you know, kind of been there, done that. So, I'm not, you know, yeah, that was the fame. Remember, like there's certain people decided to take a infamous Duke Thomas over me, but uh, okay, so Hawks and Terrier. Let's go here, and the Terriers will take down the Hawks this time. Whoa. So 6 runs on the bottom of the eighth there, just kind of poured it on, and Hartford. Landis with 2-for-4 day, couple hit by Carrillo, staying hot, 625 after 2 games. So, and yes, yeah, I doubled up Jones. I don't know how I did that. That's okay, whatever. But Jones with 4 walks, 3 RBIs. There's their home runs, yes, and he hits his third home run too. It, yeah. Anyways, Tater Tots are a 3-for-5 day. Also, there's lots of offense for Hartford, and the only 8 of those runs. Oh no, what was the final score? There's 8 RBIs. What's the final score? Okay, it was 12-8. Okay. On Boston's side, Seltzer with a couple of hits, multi-hit games for Rice, Knox, Stinson, Jones again because I screwed up. Tremaine, Glovery, yeah, so just tremendous days for them. Home runs by, yes, that's screwed up because it's the same player. I don't even know how that one works now. Yeah, Jones is just playing both sides. Yeah, that's my bad. Like I don't know how that happened, but quite frankly, I this takes a good amount of work to set up. So I don't think I triple checked everything. So, anyways, um, this is Das Williams. Yeah, Das Williams giving up 6 for the blown save there with a nice little 81 ERA. Winner goes to Scudder on the other side, and the player of the game is Larry Jones. And Larry Jones sets the regular season record for home run with 3 because he's playing on both teams. So I don't know. That can't be that hard. um, Oh goodness. Okay, gonna go on, and then let's see, it's 14, so we're gonna keep going really quick. So we're gonna go through these a little quicker because I'm gonna be here for a while. Okay, so the Terriers take down the Knights, and on this one we'll have Tremaine. Tremaine is batting 636 here so far on that bottom of the lineup. Over on Brooklyn's side, you could kind of see the offense relatively struggling, except for Jose, the GOAT, batting 400. And on the pitching side, you have Michael, who is it? Evan Michaels, 6 innings shutout ball there. And on Brooklyn's side, this is Murder Sharp, 5 innings, taking a loss. And the player of the game is Evan Michaels. Hartford gets the second win, and Atlantic City stays winless. 4-3, the Hawks taking the lead in the top of the ninth and holding on to it. Uh, Carrillo stays. We went 2 for 5, and the top of that Hartford lineup has been hitting, not with power, but they are hitting. Multi hits for all four of them, and everybody gets a hit down. Everybody got a hit. And Atlantic City side, El Delic stays hot, 2 for 5 day. Stratley with a 2 for 4 day. And over on the pitching side, Will Millis, 5 innings, but is the bullpen that gives up. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's the bullpen that comes in and shuts things out, and Huffs gets the win. Tom gets the save. Atlantic City, Renato takes the loss, and Somerville. Oh, what did he do? I thought he started him. AI is just gonna do whatever it wants. Okay. All right. I'll take a look at that after. So, Hosh Jader is the player of the game. So let's continue on. 15th off day, 16th. And Brooklyn takes down the Aces. The Aces are 0-4 now. Uh, so Brooklyn's batting, it's starting to wake up here. Brooklyn's batting is waking up here. Billy Nelson with a 3 for 4 day. Dubson 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs and two runs scored. And Jose with 3 RBI day. And over on Atlantic City side, not too much going on as they only score 1 run. And then we have Brooklyn side legalized tampering with 5 innings, 5 innings shutout ball. And over on Atlantic City side, Wolfing takes the loss, walking 6 people in just 2 2/3. Game player of the game is legalized tampering. I'm getting a ping. Okay, not important. There you go. All right. Okay, the Terriers taking down the Hawks. Terriers still undefeated, 4-0, 9-2 to final. And Seltzer, Jackson, top of the order, doing pretty decently. Multi-hit games for Rice and DeRosa, and Glovery with 3 RBIs down here. Glovery was why is he on the team? Okay. Oh right, I know. Okay. Carrillo with 2 for 4 day here, and not much else going on. They only got 2 runs scored. Boston pitching. Uh, Alexander Benjamin taking the win, and Grisby taking the loss, giving up 6 runs. Oof. The player of the game is Latavius Jackson Jr. All right, I'm gonna save this again. Hey, the Knights win 2-1, beating the Terriers. And so Terriers fall for the first time in this tournament. Um, not much offense going on. Larson with a 2-for-4 day, Pine 2-for-4, Montroy 2-for-4, and on Boston's side, 3-for-4 day for Knox, and a couple of hits for Stinson, but they couldn't really string anything together. They got 9 hits, but only could score 1 run. And over on pitching, Cat penalty with 5 innings of shutout ball, and Winters to the hole, Dictator with the save. Beta bombs, 5-inning pitch, 5 strikeouts. So good game, but Scudder takes the loss here. It's giving up an unearned run. I think it's the which inning was that? Looks like the 7th. So Beta Bombs is the player of the game despite being on the losing team. All right, and we get here, and then we'll get to Atlantic City gets their first win over the Hawks. So 3-for-5 day for BJ Johnson, a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs, a couple of runs scored for Frankenstero, and a couple of hits for Stratley, and yeah, it's Scott Williams with 3-for-4 day, still batting 500 on the bottom of that lineup. Tater Tot with 3 hits for Hartford here. They got 12, is that right? 12 hits? They got 1 run on 12 hits, and that 1 run is an unearned run? No, it's an earned run. Oh, it must be a sac fly. Oh no, it can't be a sac fly. How did they score? Oh, it might be a double play and a run scored. Okay, that might be it. But nobody got an RBI. So, yeah. Pitching side, Quinn has a good game for 1/3, no runs given up, and Wilson takes the win. Walks don't count at bats. Yeah, walks do not count at bats. Yeah. I don't know what the conversation. Sorry, I'm not following the whole conversation, so I'll read it later. Hagen takes the loss, 5 runs over 5 innings, and the player of the game is Frankenstero, who went. What was it? Yeah, 2-for-3 with 2 runs scored. And that will bring us to the 18th, which will be the second actual shown game between the Hawks and the Knights. Yeah, caught stealing. That's what CS is. Good job. And you excuse me for a second. I'm just gonna get myself a glass of water really quick. I do this every single time because I don't have a co-host for these, and then like I forget that I'm like talking the entire time, and I get thirsty. Okay. All right. So we'll have the Hawks and the Knights. Uh, OTP claimed they're pretty even. Was a tie for most of it, and it's I guess pitching they kind of edge out to Kozak versus McPitchy face. Hang on, I'm getting a ping. I just want to make sure that's nothing. Okay, not important. Okay, so we are going to get this started. McPitchy face versus Aaron Kozak. Dubson hit a home run. Yes, you hit a home run somewhere along the way. I don't know exactly when. All right. Leading off the game is Landis against McPitchy face. He grounds out to McPitchy face for the first out of the inning, and there's a fly ball by Whitmore to left for the second out. Carrillo up, and he will get this one back up the middle for the first hit of the game. And Sile coming up, and he will strike out to end the top of the first. So for the Knights coming up is Montroy, Nelson, Dubson coming in that order. They have not really hit that well, but Montroy getting an infield hit to lead things off. Nelson will sky this to center for the first out, and Dubson coming up. Dubson will ground out to and 1 and 2. He was actually hit into a double play to end the inning. So Hartford will be coming back up with Hayes, Jones, and Williams. And Hayes will get a little loop single to lead off the top of the second. And Jones will get this one past the first baseman, and Hayes will get himself to third. So first and third, no out. And that is a fly ball to center. Let's see if they'll score, and he does come in to score. So it's 1-0. Sack fly for Williams. Tater Tots will strike out for the second out. Flannerball coming up, the shortstop. And he will get this past a diving shortstop, and that is first and third with 2 out now for Landis. And is that? Oh, that's a pickoff. Wow. Well, first person on first, Flannerball straight too far away, and McPitchyface got them out. Jose will ground out to the third baseman for the first out. Pine coming up, and that is a opposite field single. And 1-on-1 out for McGuire. McGuire will ground out to short. That's 1, that's 2, and that's a double play to end the inning. Thank you, Gorgo 2005. Landis will lead things off, and he'll sky this to center. And the center fielder makes the catch for the first out. Whitmore coming up. And Whitmore hit the towering shot to left, but they'll be caught by the left fielder second out. Carrillo can't hold up his swing, and that's it. So McPitchyface gets out of that, and we'll move to the bottom of the third. It will be Mesna, Goberson, and Larson coming up. Mesna will strike out for the first out, and apparently with a slider. Goberson will hit a loop fly ball. Oh, no, never mind. The top drops it, so he has another chance. But he will ground out to the second baseman, so it doesn't really matter. Larson coming up, and he will strike out swinging. So that is a 3 clean innings for Aaron Kozak now. And the Hawks coming back up with Sile, Hayes, and Jones. And Sile will get a base hit to lead things off. And a ground ball to 1-2. That's another double play. Wow, I did not expect so many double plays. Jones will hit a looper, but it will be caught by the second baseman for the third out. So, yeah, apparently good fielding. Montroy, top of the order for the Knights coming up. Let's see if they could get anything going. And a diving catch in center by Williams for the first out. Nelson does hit this one deep, but Williams tracks this one down. Dubson will strike out looking. So Kozak dealing right now. And we are off to the top of the fifth. I know there's some Gold Glove stuff there. Well, Williams does strike out looking, so I guess the bat might need to catch up a little. So, players in different jerseys. So I want to explain that. So there's two reasons why people are in different jerseys. One, like I said, there were inactive players that I need to fill the roster. So these were already on teams. So like Tater Tots that just came up and struck out. He's on the fire. Oh no, he didn't strike out. Whatever happened there. He is already on the Firehawk, so you can see the jersey. So that's another. So that's one of them. That's one of the reasons. So that's why you see Kozak here. He's a IA inactive player. That never at 100 TPE, and he's been on the Bears for a bit. I guess it's been a while. So that's why you see them with different jerseys. You should. Sloth, I would clone you. You know, I would clone you like 50 times, but 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 it would be unfair to everyone else because you absolutely destroy them. That just won't be fair, Sloth. You know, if I clone you like 50 times and you're playing in this, you might make everybody else quit, and I can't do that. So, hey LBG, how's it going? So Carrillo strikes out against Mosley. They're dipping into the pen now. And Sile coming up, and he will strike out. And yeah, very low scoring game so far. 1-0, anybody's game still. So we go head to the bottom of the 6th. And Kozak still in the game, and that will be a base hit by Mesner to lead off the inning. Or bottom of the 6th. Goberson up, and that is a ground ball, and they can only get Goberson out at first. Larson is up. Larson will get this one back up the middle, and will they send Mesner? And they will, and he will score. And the game is tied at 1. So Larson ties this game up at 1 as Montroy skied this to center, and that will be caught by the center fielder for the second out. Billy Nelson coming up, and Nelson will get a base hit, and Larson will go to third. So first and third, 2 out. Dobson will fly out to left and to end the 6th inning. But they do tie the game as we move on to the top of the 7th. Hayes leading off, and he will strike out looking against Reggie Garfield. And Larry Jones will take the walk against Garfield. 1 on, 1 out for Micah Williams. And, Jones tried to take off, but he's thrown out by Goberson. And Williams strikes out, so that will end the inning. So we move on to the bottom of the 7th. Brooklyn coming up with Jose, Pine, and McGuire. And that is a base hit by Jose to lead off the inning. McGuire hits this one fairly deep to right, but that will be caught by the right fielder for the first out. McGuire coming up, the DH. And this one is hit deep. This one is gone into the flags, 378 feet. And Brooklyn takes the lead 3-1. McGuire hitting 150 coming in, hitting his second home run of this tournament, with Mesner coming up. Kozak is still in the game, though. And he will strike out Mesner for the second out. Goberson up. And he will line this out to the third baseman. But Brooklyn getting to Kozak now. 3-1 lead. And we'll move on to the top of the 8th. Let's see if the Hawks can respond. With Tot, Flannerball, and Landis coming up. Tot will hit a shallow, medium fly ball to right for the first out. Flannerball will strike out looking against the Evo Dictator. Landis coming in. Landis up to bat. And they will hit a liner to left field for the third out. So clean inning for Dictator as we move on to the bottom of the 8th. Doss William coming in to pitch, and that is a base hit by Larson to lead off the inning. Montroy coming up. Montroy will hit a fly ball to left for the first out. Billy Nelson up again. Nelson will get a base hit up the middle, and Larson will not move to third. So first and second, 1 out. And that is a base hit by Dobson past the first baseman, and that will score a run. RBI single for Dobson to stretch the lead to 4-1. And Jose strikes out for the second out. And Pine coming up. And Pine will get a single, and let's see if they will send the runner, and they will, but he will be gunned down at home. What an arm by the left fielder, Hayes, to save a run for Hartford. So Hartford will be coming up at the top of the 9th. This is the last chance And that is a fly ball by Whitmore for the first out. Carrillo strikes out for the second out. And Sio will get a base hit back up the middle, with Hayes coming up as the last. And Hayes will strike out, swinging to end the game. And Brooklyn takes this 4-1. Yeah, Hummus, I didn't do GMs this time. It's as fun as it was. It's takes me less time to do this without the GMs. Maybe I'll do the GMs things again another time. But I think it was just it. Yeah, I'm not gonna go that deep into it. But yeah, it just was a lot quicker. So, anyways, um, so let's see. Hartford side, they got one run. Only Sile got a couple of hits, but not too much offense there. It was pretty low scoring up to is it the seventh? Yeah, up to the pretty much up to the seventh. And on Brooklyn's side, everybody but Goverson got a hit. Larson with a 2-for-3 day at the bottom. Billy Nelson 2-for-4 day, and McGuire with a big hit with a home run in that seventh to give Brooklyn the lead. On Hartford side, Kozak pitched well, going giving up 3 earned over 7 innings, but takes the loss. On Brooklyn side, McPitchie face with 4 2/3 with 5 strikeouts. Garfield with the win, and Dictator with the save. And Aaron Kozak is the player of the game despite being on the losing team. All right, so if my math is correct, this should be the last actual day, but the last day where, but we'll go through this box score first. Terriers win and they move to 5-1. Atlantic City, uh, 2-for-5 day by Williams. Conrad, and 2-for-4 day for Argyle. And over on Boston's side, kind of scattered hit. Latavius Jackson with a couple of hits. And Glovery on the bottom there with a couple of hits. And on the any home runs here? Yeah, home runs by Jones. That's his fourth. So on the pitching side, it looks like Reed would take the loss for Atlantic City. On Boston's side, Bregman gets the win with Bleedy pitching 5 innings, striking out 10 here. Player of the game is Guy Bleedy with 10 strikeouts. All right. So I believe after this, we're going to head into the actual playoff. And the first round would be, yeah, the playoffs. And the first round would be a best of 5. And we'll take a look here. First round, it'll be the Aces and Terriers, Hawks and Knights. And we will go to the scores and take a look. So now what we're going to do is that we are going to quick sim these until there's an elimination game. So basically when one team gets to 2 wins, we're going to show the next game. So we're going to start off with Atlantic City and Boston. Did they got me playing the correct spot? What do you mean? The AI would kind of shuffle things around, but I think you created an outfielder. I'm not 100% sure if you are playing outfield right now, because it just got people are playing out of position, so odds are. But all right, Terriers beating the Aces 11-2, and they'll take a 1-0 series lead. Atlantic City side, Dele with a 3-for-4 day, but pretty much it. A couple hits for Johnson and Stretley. On Boston side, looked like a lot of people got multi-hits. Celso, Jackson, Rice, DeRosa, Stinson with 3 RBIs, etc. No home runs though. No home runs for them. Johnson dictated a home run. And over on pitching side, Wolfing just got destroyed and takes the loss. Boston, Evan Michaels. Evan Michaels, 2 earned runs over 5 1/3. Benjamin comes in for. Why is he in a pen again? I should probably check this out. It's kind of. Oh, they went to a 3-man rotation for the playoffs. Looks like they went to a 3-man rotation for the playoffs, so that's why I can't fully control what they're doing. So, all right, but let me go back here. All right, Benjamin with a couple innings out of the pen, and the player of the game is Evan Michaels. Probably should make a note to change that next season. There's a way. 5'6" first baseman. I would not do that, Roxas. That is the not a good way to make a first baseman. um, you could do a 5'6" DH. Yeah. Height height in this game does not matter unless you're a first baseman. If you're a first baseman, you should not be anything less than really 6'4". I mean, I guess you could do 6'3" or 6'2", but I would not do if you actually want yourself to be halfway decent defensively and not kill your team. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna quick sim this, and the Hawks takes the 1-0 series lead on Brooklyn. It looks like they were up and just scored an extra run in the ninth to seal the deal. Hartford side, Whitmore with a 2 for 5 day, and Tot with a couple of hits along with Williams at the bottom. Brooklyn Brooklyn's batting, scattered hits all over, but nothing really stands out. Pitching side, Grisby with the win, Staling with the hold, Tom with the save. Brooklyn's pitching, it'll be Sharp taking the loss, Mosley and Garfield and Winters coming in, and Winters giving up an unearned run at the end there. Player of the game is Tater Tot. Alright, so now each series is at 1-0, and this will determine if we have a game on, I assume it'll be the 23rd. And Terriers, they do, so there will be a game. And the Terriers taking a 2-0 series lead on Atlantic City, a 3-2 victory. We're looking at really not too much going on for Atlantic City, which you could kind of see throughout their time. They just not been hitting. At least not hitting enough. So like you have people scattered with some hits, and so it be like that sometimes. On Boston side, a couple of hits by Knox and Stinson, and they were just 3 runs. That's all they really needed. Knox got caught stealing and double by. There was no home runs in this. Atlantic City, Quinn only making through 3 1/3. I guess it's kind of an early pull. Wilson, Roach, and Hader didn't give up any runs, so the bullpen's been solid. On Boston's pitching side, Bombs only making 4 2/3. Bowler Jr. getting the win. Scudder gets the hold, and Bremen gets the save. Player of the game is Tyler Knox. These are best of 5 in the first round. The final is the best of 7. And the best of 7, I actually changed it this season. This season, it's by default it would have been a 2-3-2 series, but this will be a 2-2-1-1-1. So just to see how that goes, because it's fun. And so we move on to the Knights and Hawks. Let's see if the Knights can tie this series up. And they do a walk-off in the bottom of the 12th. Yeah. Oh, it's been debated a long time how the 7-game series should work. Anyways, Hard. So let's see what happened. Bottom of the 12th, Jose. I told you he's the goat. Jose hit a walk off single versus Doss Williams to win the game. Oh man, why is he so legendary? I cannot explain it. He is just a legend in this. He absolute legend. Um, I can't wait till Van comes back. Um, Hartford side, scattered hits. Williams does have a couple of hits here, along with Hayes, who's been batting 314. And on Brooklyn's side, Jose, as I said before, the walk-off single, batting 323. Really, and Larson bringing up his batting average over 400 over a 3 for 5 day with a couple of runs scored. Can we do predicts? Uh, if I had mods here, sure, but I didn't really bother asking because it's such an earlier stream, and so I'll see. Anyways, let's see. Oh, what was I? Let's see. So now they started Walt Jones. Okay, they just kind of did whatever they want for the playoffs. I see. Jones with looks like Jones getting the no decision. Tom gets blown save and Williams gets the loss. On Brooklyn side, he legalized tampering with the no decision, but hey, the evil dictator gets the win. 3 innings out of the pen. That's probably not a good thing. Jones is the player of the game despite being on a losing team, but I guess. All right. So let's see. We're going to move on to tomorrow, and that'll be a day off. And now we're going to save this game. Yeah, so right now between the reliever and because the AI is just gonna do whatever the heck it wants and I because they change. So let me see. They reset something that I didn't expect them to do that. Why did they do that? And I don't want to change because it's going to. Well, they had a day off, so let me see how this works. Because we might as well set. I wonder if because of this option. There we go. That's why. So let's check that off and see if we could reshuffle these a little bit where people are supposed to start. Well, it's not so much they're dumb. Is that because the designation for reliever it's just a pitcher. So you gotta look at the ratings and so forth. There's enough stamina on some of these relievers where they could actually start and they are technically better than the starters, especially at 100 TPE right now. So let's see. So I'm gonna take off these pitch counts because I took them off before and I hate them. And then okay, that's fine. They can start. I don't care. And they decide what the hell do they do here? That's fun. Why are they missing? Who was supposed to play third base? All right, so we're gonna do this. Pine's the third baseman, so he's gonna move back to third. First, he's gonna. All right, so let's see. Let's make sure everybody's back in their position. Of course. What? Why wouldn't you put this stupid AI? Okay. Not a utility player. That's how the lineup keeps changing. And pitching. Boop, boop, boop. And let's see. Quinn is dead, but King. Oh, there's an actual starter here. That's an actual starter, but so, sorry, give me a second. Let me make sure that people are supposed to be playing where it is before the AI resets things again. So hopefully it won't. No, sorry. Is my mic too low right now? I think I was just kind of mumbling to myself. So sorry. Give me a second. All right. That's fine. I don't care. And that lineup was fine the way it was. And we have Williams who was playing right field. So why did I? That's how it was. That's fun. Thank you, AI. Let's not move him around. Let's just play the lineup. Yeah, I think I was just talking low. That's my bad. All right, and I'm going to, and then we can get started just to. Okay, Jones long relief. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Whew. All right, sorry about that. We're going to go to the first elimination game between the Terriers and the Aces. We are in the playoffs right now. This is the first round's best of 5, and the Terriers are up 2-0 over the Aces. And we're just going to kick off the game and see what happens. All right, leading off is Seltzer. He'll fly out to center for the first out against Adrian King. And a grounder by Jackson Jr. for the second out. And Jerry Rice coming up, and Rice will hit a towering fly ball to right for the third out. So 1-2-3 for Adrian King. And here comes the Aces on the bottom of the first, seeing if they could get some offense going. Dele grounding out to the shortstop for the first out. Bond batting .097, grounding out to the third baseman for the second out. And Krishna grounds out to the shortstop, and that will be a 1-2-3 inning for Guy Bleedy. And that will end the first. So nothing. We move on to the top of the second. DeRosa, Knox, and Stinson. But DeRosa hits this one to the wall, and he will get in there for a leadoff double. Knox in, and he will hit a ground ball to third, and he will beat this one out for infield single. Stinson up with man on first and third, and he will ground out to third baseman who goes to second for the fourth out, but he will score a run. DeRosa comes in to score. 1-0 Boston. And King will walk Jones. So it's first and second with one out. Tremaine coming up, and he'll get this one past the shortstop, and the bases are loaded for Glovery now. Glovery up the middle, and that will score one, and they will hold the runner. So the base is still loaded for Seltzer. 2-0 Boston. And Seltzer hits a really high fly ball deep, and that will. Oh, what a throw by the left fielder Johnson to get Jones out from third, and that will end the inning. What a cannon! Goodness, and Johnson will lead off the inning, but he'll ground out to the shortstop for the first out. Frankenstero hit the fairly deep fly ball to center, and the center fielder will track this one down. Argyle will ground out to third for the third out of the inning. Goodness, what a throw. And we'll move to the top of the third. Jackson Jr. will hit a ground ball to third, and he will beat this one out for an infield single to lead off the inning. Rice will ground out to no, third baseman bobbles it, and everybody's safe. And now a seeing eye single by DeRosa, bases loaded again, but Knox will hit on a double play, but there will be a run that's scored, making it 3-0 Boston. With Stinson coming up, and Stinson will line out to the shortstop. But the Terriers do get one. They could have gotten more, but here we are, 3-0, going to the bottom of the third. Let's see if the Aces have any offense in them. Stretley will ground out to the third baseman for the first out. Conradio, whatever it is, ground out to third for the second out. And Williams will hit this one to center for the third out. So still really nothing going for the Aces, with the Terriers coming back up on the top of the fourth. Jones leading off, and he will strike out swinging for the first out. Tremaine is up, and he will hit this into right field for the second out. Glovery batting 433, and that will be a error on the shortstop Argyle, and Seltzer will capitalize off of it, and he get a single. It's 2-on-2 out with Jackson Jr. coming up, and Jackson Jr. skies this to right, and the right fielder will catch it for the third out. So still 3-0. Atlantic City coming up with the top of the order. And that is a ground ball back fielded by the pitcher, but is an infield single by Aidelli. Bond will get this into the gap, and that should score. Would that score? No, they will hold Aidelli at third. So second and third, no out. Krishna coming up, and he will strike out looking against Bleedy. Johnson is up, and he will hit a shallow fly ball to right. Oh, no, not even right. There's an infield fly. That looked like it was a little deeper. And Frankenstero strikes out swinging. So they got man on second and third with no out, and they could not bring any of them in. So it's still 3-0 Boston. And that is a walk by Rice against Adrian King to lead off the inning. And DeRosa strikes out looking. Knox coming up, batting 324 with a home run and 6 RBI so far. But he will hit a fly ball to right for the second out. Stinson will get a base hit into right field, and Rice will move over to third. So it's first and third with 2 out, with Jones coming up. Jones will ground out to the first baseman, and to end the top of the fifth. So Atlantic City getting another chance. Argyle, Stretley, and Conradio coming up. Argyle striking out to lead off the inning. Stretley coming up, batting 345 so far. And he will hit a shallow fly ball into right field that's actually caught by the second baseman. And this one is hit pretty deep, and that is gone by Conradio. Over a leaping center fielder. 415 feet, and the Aces get on the board. It's 3-1 Boston. Scott Williams coming up, and he will strike out swinging to end the bottom of the fifth. So Atlantic City chipping in there. It's 3-1. Boston coming up on the top of the sixth. Tremaine leading off, and Tremaine will hit a towering fly ball to center that will be caught by the center fielder for the first out. Seltzer will strike. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Glovery will strike out swinging, with Seltzer coming up against Apollo Somerville. And Seltzer will ground out to the second baseman for the third out. So we're moving to the bottom of the sixth. Top of the order. Aidelli strikes out swinging against Bleedy. Addison Bond is up next, unfortunately hitting a 121, and he hits a slow roller to second but he will be out. Krishna will hit a fly ball into left center, and the left fielder makes a catch, and that's it for Atlantic City after 6. We move to the top of the 7th with Boston still leading 3-1. And this is deep. Oh, Jackson Jr., 445 feet. He will give Boston a 4-1 lead with his 3rd home run so far in this tournament. Rice coming up. And a ground ball to 3rd, and Rice will be out. DeRosa against Ariel Ronaldo, and Rosa will get himself a double. That's the 10th hit by Boston. And that is a base hit by Knox. Would they send? No, they won't. So 1st and 3rd, 1 out for Stinson. And that is a grounder to 1st, but the runner will move up to 2nd. And a fly ball by Jones to shallow center, and that will be it. But they get a insurance run up 4-1 now. With Johnson, Johnson leads off with a base hit. Francantero coming up, batting .094, but he will get a base hit, and that will move Johnson to 3rd. 1st and 3rd, no out. Aces with some noise here. Argyle coming up, and he will get a base hit, and Johnson will score against Garrett Scudder. And Scudder will get a strikeout on Stratley. And Conrad strikes out as well. So they had man on 1st and 2nd with no out. But there's a towering fly ball by Williams, and gets to the wall, and that would score 1. Oh, they would not send the other runner. So it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, and Aodeli strikes out swinging to end the inning. Oh man, well, they could have tied the game. Well, but they do chip in. So Tremaine will ground out to short against Hosh Jader for the 1st out. Glovery will hit a infield fly to the 2nd baseman for 2nd out. And Seltzer will strike out looking. So no insurance run for Boston. So the lead is still up 1, 4-3. Atlantic City seeing if they could have any semblance of a rally going on. Bond leading off against Hiro Ono. And that is an error. There's an error, and Bond ends up as 2nd. But Krishna strikes out for the 1st out. Johnson up. Johnson will get a base hit, but runner had to hold, so it's 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Frankenstero coming up, and he will hit a weak ground ball to 3rd, and for the 2nd out. And Argyle will lined out to center, so they do not get a run in still. They cannot get anything going. But we'll move to the top of the 9th. Boston still up 4-3. Let's see if they could do anything. Maxwell Reed into pitch. Jackson Jr. skies out to right field for the 1st out. Jerry Rice will strike out looking. And DeRosa is up. And that is a ground ball to short, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. What the Aces needed. So now the last chance, the bottom of the lineup, Stratley, Conradio, and Williams coming up against Conrad Freeman. And Stratley would take the walk to lead off the inning. Conradio gets a ground ball. That's 1. They can only get 1, so still 1 out, 1 on. Scott Williams will hit a slow roller to short, and they will get him. So Aodeli last chance, and here that's thrown deep, and that is off the wall, and that would tie the game. Aodeli going to 3rd, and that is a RBI triple to tie the game at the bottom of the 9th. And a grounded to short by Bond, and we're going to extra inning. Free baseball, everybody. Aces rally. Knox, Stinson, Jones coming up. Maxwell Reed is in, and a whatever that was to the catcher for the first out. Stinson coming up, and he will line out to the right fielder for second out. Jones will ground out to the first baseman, so a quick 1-2-3 for the Aces, and they will be coming up with the middle of the order on the bottom of the 10th, up against Conrad Freeman. And Freeman will hit Krishna to start a lead off the inning. So 1 on, no out for Johnson. Johnson will take a walk, so it's 2 on, no out for Frank Quintero. And he will hit this one shallow center, and the center fielder makes the catch for the first out. Argyle up against Freeman, and that's 1, and he'll ground out to the fielder's choice. And that is that a base hit? Oh, no, just kidding. They'll go to second for the out, so we'll move to the top of the 11th. Strikeout, that's 1 for Maxwell Reed. Glovery coming up, and he will strike out as well against Maxwell Reed. That's the second out on the top of the 11th. And Seltzer will ground out to second for the third out, so Boston goes pretty quickly. So stamina, if anyone's actually wondering, stamina here isn't actually how much you can pitch in a game. It's actually how fast you could recover in between games. It actually have more. Oh, and the shortstop bobbles the ball at the bottom of the 11th. But they get a double play to get out of it. Oh man, Eldele will strike out against Kyle Bowler Jr. to end the bottom of the 11th. And now we move to the top of the 12th. Jackson Jr. leads things off, and he will hit a fairly deep fly ball to left for the first out. Rice coming up, and that is a base hit in between the first and second baseman. And surprise, Reed is still in there. That is actually kind of long. But a ground ball, 1-2, and that's a double play. Maxwell Reed throws it ground out to a double play. So we'll move to the bottom of the 12th now. Atlantic City with Bond, Krishna, Johnson coming up, and Bond will hit this into right for the first out. Krishna coming up, and he will hit a grounder back to the pitcher for the second out. Johnson up, and he will strike out looking. So we move to the top of the 13th, because why not? Knox, Stinson, Jones. And Knox will get a base hit off of DJ Roach to lead off the inning. Stinson will hit a fly ball to shallow right for the first out. Jones coming up, and Jones will get a base hit. That's a base hit into right. And first and third, 1 out for Tremaine. And they grounded to second. That's 1, that's 2, that's a double play to get them out of it. So Boston threatens, but nothing to show for it. We move to the bottom of the 13th. And a ground ball back to the pitcher for the first out. Argyle up next against Kyle Bowler Jr. And a ground ball to second for the second out. Stratley will strike out looking. And we're going to the 14th. Glovery, Seltzer, Jackson Jr. coming up for Boston. And that's the first out. Seltzer coming up, striking out against Roach. Jackson Jr. up next. And he will strike out as well. And then we move to the bottom of the 14th. Carrillo, Williams, Eldele. Man, Kyle Bowler Jr. is still in there, and Carrillo grounds out for the first out. Williams will get a ground ball, and that is bobbled by the third baseman. And there's a pitching change. Tony Mazzarelli comes in and a diving catch by Jackson Jr. for the second out. Bond will get this one back up the middle. And that is first and third, 2 out for Krishna. And he will strike out looking because, you know, why swing when your team needs to run? So we move to the top of the 15th. This is insane. Rice will ground out to third for the first out. Pitching still is DJ Roach. DeRosa will hit a fly ball to center for the second out. Knox will get a base hit into left field for a 2-out hit. That's a hit number 15. Stinson will, and Knox actually steals second, but Stinson will walk, so first and second with 2 out for Jones. Jones will ground out to third, and that is it. Score is still 4-4. We go to the bottom of the 15th. Johnson, Frankenstero, and Argyle coming up, and Johnson strikes out against Tony Mazzarelli. Frankenstero coming up for the Aces. And that is back up the middle for a base hit. Argyle up now. And he will strike out. Stratley will hit a fly ball into foul territory for the third out. We're moving to the 16th inning. Oh boy. And that is a deep, Seltzer hits a 2-run shot off of Breeze Ledrian, and we have a lead by Boston. Jackson will strike out for the second out. And Jerry Rice coming up. And he will ground out to third. So Boston finally taking the lead on the top of the 16th. Let's see if the Aces have anything left in them. Mazzarelli is still into pitch. Conrad gets a single to lead off the inning. Scott Williams will ground out to third. 1, 2. That is a double play. So last chance for the Aces. And a ground ball to third. A diving stop by the third baseman, and he gets thrown out, and Boston moves on. 16 innings. 16 innings. Oh, goodness. Oh. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to remember if we've ever seen the 16 inning on stream before, but I'm sure we have. Oh, boy. So, Boston, Knox had a 4-for-7 day. Really, Seltzer with a big home run on the top of the 16th. And, yeah, it was just, on the pitching side, a lot of pitchers used. Winner is Mazzarelli, and the loser is Ladrian, and the player of the game is Guy Bleedy. Cole Seltzer sets a playoff extra inning record at bats with 8. Yeah, I mean most of these will be would be records because he doesn't keep the tournament records. Oh goodness! Wow. Well, so and we'll move on to the Knights, and so this will be a quick sim. We'll see. There will be a gameplay next day, but we'll see who will be up to nothing. Oh, 2-1. Brooklyn taking a 2-1 lead. 3-2 final score. Brooklyn side, a couple of hits by Nelson and Dubson, and McGuire with 3 hits. Not a lot of scoring here. Hartford, a couple of hits by Whitmore and Jones, and that's pretty much it. And we have penalty, who had no decision but pitched well. Mosley gets the win, but the blown save, and Doofenshmirtz gets the save. Hartford side, Hagen gets the no decision, but Stelling gets the loss. Player of the game is penalty. Yeah, that is some Red Sox Yankees style baseball, because that's those type of games. Yeah, I've been through many of those, and it's very, very stressful and grueling. So, all right, I'm gonna save this, and we're going to go straight into the elimination game. What? McPitchy Face versus Aaron Kozak. I think we saw this before. So we're just gonna dive straight into it. Let's go. Let's hope this doesn't go to 16. Montroy leading off for Brooklyn, and he was strike out against Kozak. And now in Billy Nelson coming up, batting 243 so far in this tournament, and he'll have himself a looping base hit. Dubson coming up, and he will take the walk. So 2 on, 1 out for Jose. And Jose would take the walk, and bases loaded for Jack Pine. And he'll strike out swinging. So bases loaded with 2 out for McGuire. McGuire will swing, but the ball bats past the catcher, and the run will score. Mesner will come up, so it's 1-0 Brooklyn. And that's up the middle, base hit by Mesner, and that will score 1, and that will score 2, 3-0. Brooklyn lead. Goberson coming up with a man on first and second. And that is a hit and run base hit. And that will score McGuire from second. It's 4-0 Brooklyn. Larson coming up, 419 so far, but he'll ground out to third, and the third baseman will throw to second for the force out, and that will be it for Brooklyn after taking a 4-0 lead. So let's see if the Hawks can respond. Landis, Whitmore, Carrillo coming up. Landis will get a leadoff single against McPitchy Face. Whitmore up next, and Landis will steal second, and a ground out to second by Whitmore, but that will move Landis to third. Carrillo up. Carrillo will take the walk, so man on first and third with 1 out for Sile. Sile will ground out to third. That's 1, that's 2, and that is a double play to end the bottom of the first. So good defense there by Brooklyn, getting himself out of a little trouble. Montroy will ground out to the shortstop for the first out, and they're already in the bullpen. Jason Bentley is in. Nelson skies to the left fielder for the second out. Dubson will line out to the second baseman. and so Hayes, Jones, and Todd coming up, and that is a ground out to the third baseman. And Jones coming up, and he will strike out against McPitchy Face, who has a .77 ERA right now in this tournament. Todd coming up, and he will get a fly ball to center, and that is it. 4-0. Brooklyn still lead. We're moving to the top of the third. The whole team needs to jump him. Well, Jose will strike out to lead off the inning, with Pine and McGuire coming up after him. Pine will pop up, infield pop up back to the pitcher's mound for a second out. And McGuire will hit this one deep to center, but the center fielder will track this one down, and 1-2-3 goes to Knight. The Hawks coming up with Flannerball, Williams, and Landis. And a towering fly ball, infield fly ball, and it'll be caught by the first baseman for the first out. Williams will get this up the middle for a base hit. That brings up Landis, and he will ground out to first, but there will be no throwback. Ground out to second, I'm sorry. There will be no throwback to first. And a fly ball to left field, and that should do it. The center fielder actually makes the catch. And now we go to the top of the fourth, still 4-0. So after the initial 4 runs, not a lot of offense happening afterwards. Mesner will lead off, and a diving stop by the second baseman, but he will not be able to corral that. And Mesner will get himself an infield single. Goberson grounds out, but that will move Mesner to second. Larson will get a base hit, and they will hold Mesner at third. And Montroy up. He will strike out swinging. Billy Nelson coming up, and Nelson will fly out to right to end the top of the fourth. Carrillo, Sile, and Hayes will be due up in the middle of the order for the Hawks, and Carrillo hits this into center, and that will be the first out. Sile, batting .268, will hit a fly ball into shallow left, and it looks like the second baseman shortstop will make the catch, and Hayes will get himself a base hit past the third baseman, and that will bring up Jones. Jones will fly out to right, and that's it again. And so we move to the top of the fifth, 4-0. Dubson, Jose, and Pine coming up. And Dubson leads it off with a single. Scott Stelling coming into pitch, and that is a stolen base by Dubson. And Jose hits this into center. It'll be caught by the center fielder, and that will move Dubson over to third with only 1 out. Pine will strike out swinging. With McGuire coming up, and McGuire strikes out swinging as well, and so they strand Dubson at third. Still 4-0. We move to the bottom of the fifth. Tater Tots, Flannerball, and Williams coming up. And Tot will strike out swinging against McPitchyface, who is down to it should be a .60 now, .61. Yeah, .61 ERA. And a weak little grounder back to the pitcher, second out. Williams will ground out to first. So McPitchyface been absolutely incredible so far in this tournament. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, have a good day. Glad you could join us for a little bit. Mesner takes the walk to lead off the inning. Goberson will ground out to shortstop for the force out. Larson up. Larson will ground out to the third baseman, and that is a double play. And that will end the inning. So moving along now to the bottom of the sixth. The Hawks need to put up some runs. I don't know if they can do that against McPitchyface, who've been absolutely dominant. And a fly ball, infield fly to the first baseman, and that is the first out. Whitmore will fly out to the center fielder for the second out. Carrillo is up, and he will get a base hit past the first and second baseman with Sile coming up. And Sile will get this one into gap, and that would they send Carrillo? No, they won't. So second and third with 2 out for Hayes. And Hayes will get this one past the center fielder's head, in back to the wall, and that will score 2. So they finally get to McPitchyface. And Jones will be coming up, and McPitchyface actually gets taken out for Adam Mosley. But Mosley gets Jones to fly out to right center for the final out for the 6th inning. So they chip in the lead a little bit. It's 4-2 right now. And Montroy will beat this one out to lead off the inning for Brooklyn for an infield hit. And a deep fly ball by Nelson, but that will be caught in the left field for the first out. Dobson coming up, and he will get this one past the diving second baseman for a single. First and second, one out for Jose. Jose will ground out to the third baseman. There will be a force at second. So first and third with two out. And a fly ball by Pine into shallow right, and that will be it for Brooklyn in seventh. Still a 4-2 lead, and let's see if Hartford can chip in a little bit more. Swing and a miss by Todd for the first out against Reggie Garfield. Flannerball will strike out looking against Reggie Garfield. And then we have Micah Williams coming up. And he hits this one deep. That's in the gap. This one is gone. 430 feet. Hartford cuts into the lead a little more. It's now 4-3. Keeping their hopes alive. Landis up next, and they'll ground out to the second baseman. And the seventh inning is over. We'll move to the top of the eighth. Brooklyn 4-0 lead is gone now, and well, not really completely gone, but yeah, McGuire will ground out to first, so they need some runs here. And Mesner will get a single with one out, with Goberson coming up. And that is a wild pitch, and Mesner will move over to second. Goberson will get a single into right, and they will send the runner, and Mesner scores from second, so they get the insurance run. 5-3 now. With Goberson's RBI single, Larson will hit a fly ball into left, and for the second out, we're back to the top of the order with Montroy. And he will strike out looking, and that is so. Brooklyn gets one more run. They're up by 2. Let's see if Hartford can take any of that back in the bottom of the 8th. Whitmore, Carrillo, Sile coming up. And a good start for them. Whitmore takes the walk to lead off the inning against Charlotte Winters. And a shallow, fly ball, I guess for lack of a better term, to second by Carrillo. He's out, but Sile will get a base hit. First and second, for one out. Hayes coming up. Hayes will hit a slow ground ball to, and no play. Is that an error? No, it's an infield hit, bases loaded. And there's a fly ball by Jones to right. Let's see if they'll send him. No, they will not. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Todd. And he will strike out swinging. So a wasted opportunity for Hartford. And that will bring us to the top of the 9th. Brooklyn up 5-3. Ground ball by Nelson to the first baseman for the first out. Dobson will hit a fly ball to left, and that's for the second out. Jose up, and he will hit this into pretty deep center, and it'll be caught at the warning track by the center fielder. So last lick for Hartford. With Flannerball, Williams, and Landis coming up. The Evo Dictator on the mount to close it off for Brooklyn. That will be 1 out. And Williams will do the exact same thing, and that's 2 out. Landis will pop up in the infield, and that is 3 quick outs. And that is it for Hartford. Brooklyn wins the series 3-1. Oh, we won 20 inning game. Sloth, I don't know if I have the strength to go through another 20 inning game, but okay, let's take a look at. So congratulations to Brooklyn for moving on, and it's pretty a good series, but it was a pretty good series, I think. So on Brooklyn's side, a couple of hits by Dobson and Mesner were 3 for 3 days. People were kind of getting hits, but really not too crazy day of not much crazy offense going on. On Hartford's side, a 3 for 4 day with 2 RBIs by Willie Mays Hayes. And over on the pitching side, McPitchy gets the win. Ho goes to Mosley, Garfield, Winter, and the save goes to Dictator. On Hartford's side, Kozak only lasted for 2/3 of an inning, but the bullpen came in really strong, only giving up one over the rest of the way. But it was the damage was done early on. Micah Mesner is the player of the game. I'm gonna save this. And that should be a day off. And now we move into the finals. So this is a best of 7. Let's see what will happen. What time is the season 30 draft tomorrow? That is a very good question. I can look that up really quick, but I think he posted it. Did he post it? Let's see. All the way through my screenshots. No, nobody posted. Hang on 1 second. Let me just. I will look that up. Of course. They did not announce it, so I'm going to let the person know to announce it. So give me a second. I'm just going to ping them really quick and get them to do the announcement. Can you announce the minors draft stream time? All right. So we will find out what time. Did he say 2? I don't remember if he said 2, but let's just assume maybe it's 2. All right, let's move on. This is the round 2. This is a best of 7, so we're gonna go through until somebody there'll be an elimination game. Let's do this. And Boston taking they're 4-0 so far, taking the series, taking the first game of the series. And now let's take a look. On Brooklyn side, McGuire had a 3 for 4 day, but nobody else really did much. Goverson did hit a home run, I guess. Yeah, Goverson had a 2-run shot off of Benjamin, but that is on the top of the ninth, too little, too late. On Boston side, they scored 7 runs with Jerry Rice with a 3 for 4 days, a couple of runs scored, 2 RBIs for Stinson. And over on the pitching side, Tampering gave up 5 runs over 4 2/3, taking the loss. On Boston's side, Michaels gets the win, their 3rd win so far, and the player of the game is Evan Michaels. All right, so we're gonna go through game 2, and the Terriers taking a 2-0 series lead. 3-2. Wasn't yeah. Wasn't a score like that before? Well, okay. So looks like all the scoring was done relatively early on. Doesn't look like the Knights are able to hit right now. Jose with 3 for 4 day with 2 RBI and a couple of hits for Larson, but that's pretty much it for them. And there's a home run for Jose. Boston side, 2 for 4 day for Jackson Jr., bringing his average to 308 right now. And Jones with a couple of hits. They got 2. They only had a couple of RBIs, but that's all they needed. And over on the pitching side, kept penalty, getting 6 innings, 3 a quality start, but taking the loss. On Boston side, Beta Bomb getting the win, pitching 6 innings, striking out 4. Scudder with the hold, Bremen with the save, and the play of the game is Beta Bombs. All right, so it should be a day off. So let's see if the Knights can hold this off, or will they be down 3-0? And the Knights with behind McPitchy face getting a 7-0 win. Dubson with 2-run home run versus Guy Bleedy on the bottom of the first. Good job. Boston, Jackson went 2 for 4. He's hitting very well so far. Stinson with a couple of hits, Jones with a couple of hits, but they did not get any runs whatsoever. The pitchers made a couple of errors here. And on Brooklyn side, Montroy with 2 for 3 day, and Dubson with the really the hammer there because of the 2-run shot early on to set the tone. 3 RBIs for Jack Pine. Over on Boston side pitching, Bleedy just had a terrible game there, giving up 6 runs over 2 and 1/3, taking the loss. On Brooklyn side, McPitchy Face moved to 3-0, giving up no runs and striking out 7 with an ERA of 1.17 this entire tournament so far. So just been absolutely dominant. All right, moving on game 4, and let's see if the Knights can tie up the series, or would the Terriers push for an elimination game? And the Knights will tie this up at 2, taking a 4-1 victory. So let's, and on Boston's batting side, a couple of hits by Seltzer, and that was pretty much it. On Brooklyn's side, Montroy with a couple of hits, Dubson with 2 RBIs, but that's all they really needed. Pine got the solo home run off of Evans in the 4th inning. Montroy got a solo shot too. Knox with a second home run in this. On Boston's side, Michaels take the loss, and on Brooklyn's side, Tampering gets the win. He moves 2-1. Mosley to hole, Winter to hole, Dictator to save, and the player of the game is Legalized Tampering. Now we move to game 5. And I'll save this. All right. Auto save anyways because. All right. And this is, let's see who would take the lead in this. Knights at Terriers. And the Terriers take a 3-2 series lead. 6-2 victory. So the bats coming back to life for Boston. On Brooklyn's side, they scatter hits, a 3 for 4 day and a 2 for 4 day for Jose, 3 for 4 day for McGuire, but nothing really much to show for it. And on Boston's side, multiple hits by Seltzer, Jackson, Rice, DeRosa, and Stinson, and just everybody got a hit down there with 15 hits there. On the pitching side, calf penalty, gave up 5 runs over 3 2/3. The bullpen wasn't too shabby, but all the damage was done kind of early on. On Boston side, Baderbaum had another good start. He only lasted for 4 2/3, but only gave up 2 runs. The bullpen again shutting things down. Bowler Jr. with the win. And Jerry Rice is the player of the game. So we will get to see the game in, I believe it should be January 3rd. Yes, there's no games, and we will get here. We'll save this, and we will move on to the elimination game. So let's see if Brooklyn can either tie it or do the Terriers go off and take this tournament. Ooh. And we're gonna start this up. Seltzer will be leading off for Boston against McPitchyface, and an infield fly to the third baseman for the first out. Jackson Jr. will strike out swinging for the second out. Rice is coming up, batting 300 so far in this tournament. And Rice will ground out to the shortstop, and they need McPitchyface to kind of shut things down as Brooklyn is. If not, Brooklyn's going home. Montroy, Nelson, Dobson coming up, the top of the order for Brooklyn. And Montroy getting the base hit to lead things off. Billy Nelson up next. And he will hit this one back to the wall, and that will be a double, perhaps more. But nope, Montroy will hold at third. So second and third, no outs for Dobson, who hits a little infield single, and that will score Montroy. 1-0 Brooklyn with no outs still. And Jose will walk, bases loaded for Jack Pine. And he will ground off to first. Is that a double play? That is a double play. He will not get an RBI, but the run does score. McGuire coming up, and he will ground out to short, and that will end the bottom of the first. So Brooklyn takes an early lead, 2-0. And with DeRosa, Knox, and Stinson coming up for Boston. Yep. Hang on. So Knox will be up, and he will sky this to left. And that will be second out. Montroy brings that in. Stinson up, and he will fly out to the center fielder, and that is it for Boston at the top of the second. We'll go the bottom of the second with Mesner, Goberson, and Larson coming up. And a fly ball by Mesner to center, and that will be the first out. Goberson will fly out to shallow center for the second out. So Jackson Jr. running around a little bit. Larson will strike out looking against Guy Bleedy. And that will do it for Brooklyn in the bottom of the second. We move to the top of the third. Bottom of the order for the Terriers. Jones, Tremaine, and Glovery. Jones will fly out to right for the first out. Tremaine will ground out to the second baseman. Second out. Glovery will ground out to the second baseman, and McPitchyface now. ERA is at 1.0. I think it'll be like 03 or 02. But whatever it is, it's around 1. We're back to the top of the order for Brooklyn, and Montroy hits this one deep, and it gets over the head of the left fielder for a home run. And that will bring the lead to 3-0. Montroy's fourth home run of the tournament. Nelson will strike out. And Dobson is up. Dobson will also strike out against Bleedy for the second out. And we'll have Jose coming up to bat. Jose will also strike out. And but Brooklyn does take extended lead from a solo shot by John Montroy. Top of the order for the Terriers, and Seltzer will take a walk to start off the inning. Jackson Jr. coming up, batting .323. But he will ground out, and that is a double play. He ground into a double play, and Rice is coming up, and he will ground out to the shortstop, and that is it. So, nothing going on for Boston right now. Jack Pine, McGuire, and Mesner coming up for Brooklyn. Pine will get this back up the middle for a leadoff base hit. McGuire coming up, batting .281, but he'll ground out to third, and that's A double play. And Mesner will fly out to shallow center, and that's it. So Brooklyn still up 3-0. And now is the 4-5-6 header for the Terriers coming up in the top of the 5th. And I guess a fly out to second base for DeRosa. And Knox will strike out, and that's 2 outs. Stinson coming up. And Stinson will hit a fly ball to center. That will be caught by the center fielder. 1-2-3. Down goes Boston. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th, 3-0. Goberson, Larson, and Montroy. But Goberson will fly out to left for the first out. Larson will take the walk. 1 on, 1 out for Montroy. Montroy will take the walk, so 2 on, 1 out for Billy Nelson. Billy Nelson will fly out to shallow left for the second out. Dubson coming up against Guy Bleedy, and Dubson will fly out to the left fielder. And so they got 2 on, but they couldn't bring anybody home, so it's still 3-0. We move to the top of the 6th. Ground out to first for the first out. And that is a strikeout by McPitchy Face. It's her 4th. As Tremaine strikes out there. Glovery up. And he'll ground out to the second baseman. And again, that is all for Boston. We're 6.5 now. Brooklyn back up, 4-5-6 hitter upcoming for Brooklyn. Jose will fly out to right for the first out. Pine will fly out to center for the second out. And McGuire up. McGuire will take the 2-out walk with Mesner coming up. Mesner only batting 186 so far. And he will strike out swinging against the Alaskan Assassin, who just came into the game. And we go to the top of the 7th. Boston coming back up. Seltzer will line out to the shortstop for the first out. And a strikeout to Jackson Jr., and that's 2 outs. Jerry Rice coming up. And he gets this one past the shortstop for the first hit of the game by Boston. And DeRosa will hit this one fairly deep, but it will be caught by the center fielder. So Rice breaks up the no-no, but still nothing to show for that. We'll move to the bottom of the 7th. Brooklyn up 3-0. Goberson will get a base hit off of Alaskan Assassin to lead off the inning. Larson will ground out to first, and the return is not fast enough, so they only get the man at second. But Montroy will get a base hit, and that will be first and second. 1 out for Nelson. Nelson strikes out swinging against Assassin, and Dubson is in, and Dubson will ground out to second to end the bottom of the 7th. We're still 3-0. Let's see if the Terriers have any offense. And let's see if McPitchy Face is coming back out. Yes, McPitchy Face is still pitching. And she strikes out Knox for the first out. And Stinson is up, and he will strike out. That is strikeout number 7 for McPitchy Face. And Jones will get a base hit, only the second one for Boston. Let's see if they'll pull McPitchy Face now. No, they won't. But McPitchy Face will get Tremaine to ground out, and they got a hit, but that's pretty much all they got. Bottom of the 8th. Let's see if Brooklyn can stretch the lead. And that is hit into left field by Jose and caught for the first out. Jack Pine will get this past a diving third baseman, and he will move on to second for a double. McGuire is up. McGuire hits this one fairly deep to center, and that is the second out while Pine moves over to third. Mesner will get a base hit past the second baseman, so he drives in a run, making it 4-0 Brooklyn. Goberson will get a base hit into right field, and Mesner moves over to third. Two on, two out for Larson, who will get this one back up the middle. Scoring Mesner is now 5-0 Brooklyn. Top of the order, Montroy will strike out swinging against Assassin, and that will do it. They tag on two. It's 5-0. We'll move to the top of the ninth. Last chance for this game for Boston, as the evil dictator comes in, and he will strike out Glovery for the first out. Seltzer coming up. Seltzer will take the walk. Jackson is up. Jackson will hit this one fairly deep to right, but at the warning track, the right fielder gets it. 2 outs now for Rice. Rice will hit this one, a diving stop by the shortstop, but there'll be no play. An infield hit by Rice. DeRosa will strike out swinging, and that is it. 5-0. We're going to Game 7. So for Boston's side, really, Rice and Jones, the only one that actually got hits. On Brooklyn's side, Montroy with a day, 3 for 4 with a solo home run. Pine with a couple of hits, Goberson with a couple of hits, and they strung together 5 runs. That's all they needed. After a strong performance by McPitchy-Face, 8 innings, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs given up. And for Boston's side, Bleedy takes the loss, giving up only 3 runs over 5 2/3. Player of the game is Petra McPitchy-Face. So congratulations, Petra. Good job. All right. Let's save this. Game 7. And this will, I'm going to save this again. Oh, man. I guess I shouldn't expect anything less in 7 games from these. So there will be legalized tampering versus Evan Michaels in Game 7. And it looks pretty even down the line, so no surprise this went to 7. So let's kick this off. Let's do this. All right, John Montroy will be leading off for the Knights, and he will get a single up the middle against Michaels to lead off the game for Brooklyn. Nelson up, and that's a ground ball to first, and they return for a double play. And so Dubs will strike out looking. So they got one on, but nothing else after that. And now we move to the bottom of the first. Boston is up to bat with Seltzer, Jackson, and Rice. And a base hit by Seltzer to lead off the inning for Boston. Jackson is up. Jackson will ground out to second. That will move Seltzer up to second. Rice will strike out against tampering. DeRosa is up. And DeRosa will get this into right and past the right fielder. And that will score Seltzer. I don't know what happened there. Knox will line out to the second baseman, and that will end the inning. But not before Boston takes a 1-0 lead. Jose will strike out swinging. And Draker, if you want to strike out less, is avoid Ks. The eye will get you more walks, but Pine will ground out to the second baseman for the second out. McGuire will sky this into fairly deep left by the warning track, and that will be brought in by the left fielder. And we're moving to the bottom of the second. Stinson, Jones, Tremaine coming, and Stinson will get this into the gap, and that should be a double. And that is a leadoff double for Stinson. Jones coming up, and he will strike out swinging. Tremaine up batting .214 so far, and he will hit this one fairly deep to left, and it'll be caught by the left fielder, and Stinson moves up to third. Glovery will hit this one into center and caught by the center fielder. Boston is still up 1-0. We're moving to the top of the third with Mesner, Goberson, and Larson coming up. Mesner will ground out to short, and that's one out. Goberson will get a base hit. 1 on 1 out for Larson coming up. Larson will ground out to second. That's 1. That's 2. And double play. 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. End the top of the third. We're moving to the bottom of the third with the top of the order for Boston. Seltzer, Jackson, Rice. And Seltzer will line out to the center fielder for the first out. Jackson Jr. will get this past the third baseman for a base hit. 1 on 1 out for Rice. And Rice will swing and strike out swinging. DeRosa coming up. And DeRosa will take the walk. 2 on 2 out for Tyler Knox. Knox will... Oh, that is a wild pitch or pass ball. Whatever it is. Runners move up. But Knox will ground out to the second baseman to end the inning. Still 1-0. And top of the fourth. That is a fly ball to shallow left for Montroy for the first out. Nelson is up. And that's back up the middle. Base hit. 1 on 1 out for Dubson. And, oh! Nelson gets picked off at first. Oh, goodness. Can't do that. Oh, goodness. And Dubson grounds out to third, and, well, that's it for Brooklyn on the top of the fourth. And that is a strikeout looking for Stinson. Jones coming up. And a fly ball to left for the second out. Tremaine will get this a little bloop single back up the middle. So 2 out single for Tremaine with Glovery coming up. And Glovery will get this up the middle again. And that is a base hit. 2 on, 2 out for the top of the order for Seltzer, who will strike out swinging against tampering. And so we move on to the top of the fifth. 1-0. Jose will hit a slow ground ball back to the pitcher for the first out. Jack Pine coming up. He will get this into the gap, and that should be a double, perhaps more. Nope, just a double. 1 on, 1 out for McGuire, who strikes out swinging. Mesner, let's see if Mesner could bring Pine home. It doesn't look like it, as he flies out to shallow right. Going to the bottom of the fifth, as it will be Jackson, Rice, and DeRosa. And Jackson will lead us off with a single. Rice and now Mosley coming to pitch, and he will strike out Jerry Rice for the first out. And he will strike out DeRosa for the second out. Knox coming up. Knox will get this. Oh, nope, he will line out to the shortstop. Still 1-0. Boston has gotten hits, but they haven't really strung together anything. Top of the 6th, Goberson leading off, and he will ground out to the first baseman. First out, Larson will hit this one fairly deep to right, and that is caught for the second out. Montroy will hit this one pretty deep, but it will be caught in the right field. 1-0 still. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Stinson, Jones, and Tremaine coming up for Boston. Stinson batting .270 with 12 RBI so far, but he will ground out to the shortstop in this at bat. Jones batting .253, and he will sky this one fairly deep to center, but the center fielder will track this one down for the second out. Glovery will get this over the head of the center fielder, back to the wall, and that's a 2-out double for Tremaine. Back to the Glovery will get this one past the shortstop, and Tremaine comes in to score. 2-0, Boston. Seltzer strikes out against Mosley, and that will end the bottom of the 6th. So Brooklyn moving to the top of the 7th. Let's see if they have any offense, because they have not shown anything so far. Nelson, Dobson, and Jose coming up as Nelson grounds out to third. A new pitcher, Garrett Scudder, coming in. Scudder will strike out Dobson for the second out of the top of the 7th. Jose coming up. Jose will get this one back up the middle for a base hit. There's a 2-out single by Jose, and Jack Pine coming up, batting .222. But Pine will get this into the gap, and let's see if they will send Jose. They will try to send Jose, and he'll come home to score. It's 2-1. Brooklyn cutting into the lead. Man on second for McGuire with 2 outs, and McGuire will drop this a single. Does drop a single, and Pine will come home to score. Would they score? Yes, he will score, but McGuire is out at second as he tried to stretch that single into a double. But the game is tied at 2 now. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Jackson Jr. leads things off with a fly out to center. Pitching is Reggie Garfield for Brooklyn, and a ground ball to third by Rice. That's the second out. DeRosa will fly out to center. So that's a quick 1-2-3 for Garfield, as that will move to the top of the 8th, and Brooklyn with a bottom of the order coming up. Mesner, Goberson, Larson, and Mesner will get a single to lead things off against Hiro Ono. Goberson will get this up the middle, base hit, and that will move Mesner to third. So first and third, no outs, and a walk by Ono to Larson. And we're back to the top of the lineup, bases loaded, no outs for Montroy. Montroy will strike out swinging. That is 1 out, a huge strikeout for Ono. Nelson will ground with the infield in. He will ground. It will be a forced play at home. 2 outs, bases loaded, and Dobson, and this one drops in. A little single that drops in, and Brooklyn takes the lead 4-2. Jose strikes out, but not before Brooklyn takes a 4-2 lead. Let's see if Boston can respond. 5, 6, 7 hitter Knox, Stinson, Jones coming up on the bottom of the 8th against Reggie Garfield. Knox will fly out to center for the first out, and a fly out to right for the second out, and Jones will ground out to second for the third out. So we move to the top of the 9th. Let's see if Brooklyn can get an insurance run or not. Jack Pine leading things off, and he will line out to the second baseman for the first out. McGuire will strike out against Conrad Freeman for the second out. Mesner is up, and he will strike out looking. So that's the answer is no. They will not score any more runs. And going to the bottom of the 9th. 8, 9, and 1 for the Terriers. The Evo Dictator coming up to pitch, and he will strike out Tremaine for the first out. Glovery is up next, followed by Seltzer. And this one is hit deep by Glovery, and it will be caught at the warning track by the center fielder for the second out. But Seltzer gets a base hit to keep this going, with Jackson Jr. coming up. Jackson Jr. gets a base hit, so it's 2 on, 2 out for Rice. And that is a pass ball, wild pitch, whatever it is, wild pitch, and runners move up. And Rice flies out right field, and that will do it. Brooklyn defeats Boston in Game 7, 4-2, scoring 4 in the 7th and the 8th. After not scoring for the first 6 innings. So congratulations to the Knights, and good game to the Terriers. Moving this to a 7-game series. So yeah, Dobson, top of the 8th with a 2-run single against Ono. So love to see that. For Brooklyn, everybody but Larson got a hit. Hits were kind of scattered. Dobson, as we mentioned before, got the 2 runs, and they did get 10 hits, but not couldn't really muster up more runs. On Boston's side, you had Seltzer and Jackson on the top of the order getting hits, and on the bottom of the order, you get Tremaine and Glovery getting hits as well. But they kind of left a lot of people on base. They got 11 hits, but only 2 runs to show for it. Yeah, average isn't everything. No, definitely not. Like the walks here. I mean, well, they had 1 walk, so I don't know how much the walks came into play here. So it's not like everybody has high I here. So I doubt that. Well, I guess the pitchers don't have a lot of controls either, so it should balance out. On the pitching side, you have Tampering, who went 4 innings. Mosley went 2, giving up a run. Garfield gets the win. Dictator gets the save. On Boston's side, Evan Michael pitched very well, 6 2/3, no runs given up. Scudder, unfortunately, with the blown save, and Ono with the loss there. And Bremen did pitch 1 inning after that. Evan Michael is the player of the game. And where did they play in Vaughn's house again? They did. I don't know why I can't change that. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Don't you worry. The 100 everybody's at 100 TPE. If you're gonna get a lot of strikeouts, you're gonna get a lot of weird things, and it's like I said at the very beginning, whatever your performance is, good or bad, it has really no bearing on anything. This is just for everyone just to see their player a little bit, And again, it's not it's not about your performance, and this is my honest advice to all the people. Like, in your first season of minors, figure out how the league works, and talk to your GM, talk to your teammates, those who have been earning, and you got to figure out ways to get TPE. TPE is the name of the game. Your player isn't going to get better without the TPE, and it takes time. Sim leagues is about it takes a lot of patience at times, and you see some drastic improvements once in a while, and sometimes not. Yeah, like Zach said, no one has been updated yet. So everybody's at 100. There are better 100 TPE builds than others, but for the most part, the talent level isn't really that, isn't much at all. And you do, and when it's everybody so clustered together, the sim is just gonna do whatever it wants. And yeah, thank you, Golf, for for 20 something of you guys who joined me on this afternoon. If you guys have any questions for me, like you could ask here, you could DM me, feel free. I am open for any questions. Uh, I hope you all got scouted along the way by the minors GMs. Uh, the draft stream is tomorrow. You sound like yeah. It's kind of funny. I did ask for a co-host and kind of nobody responded there, Dirk. Huh? 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 um, no, but I love doing the showcase. I really do. It's been like I think this is the seventh one. I really can't. I don't know how many of them are we in now, but I unrolled. Oh, that's true. I did unroll you. Oh, right. I technically didn't ping you because Mike pinged right before, and I just kind of piggybacked off of it. uh, yeah. So the draft stream is tomorrow sometime. I don't. I'm not. I'm not checking Discord right now, so I don't know if I already got posted. But I guess I should take a look. I don't think he ever did because he never responded, but maybe he did. Oh, he did. That's what's on the tell. Yeah, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is the minors draft, and it will be hosted by Leatherneck Mike. Uh, and you guys will find out where you guys are going to on your minor league stint, and it will be fun. I hope some of you guys end up to be my teammate, and it will be fun. I have, like I said at the beginning, I was a GM, a minors GM for a while, and I had a ton of fun GMing down there, and I think it is such a fun experience. Uh, you get really attached to your player, really attached to your team. If you just give it a chance and get to know your teammates a little. It's and just watch your players develop, and it is quite an experience. And I've had a lot of fun with my first player. Uh, there were a lot of up and downs. Don't get me wrong. You go through some disappointments, and just being part of the team, you work so hard and you have a long season, and then you get disappointed in the playoffs or something like that. But that will happen, and that's all part of it. But I hope you all. He was a joke artist. Hey, hey, hey! I was the I had the first ever no hitter in PBE playoff history. Okay, so all right, so I would like to hold on to that as I did something in the playoffs. So um, anyways, uh, like I said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to DM me. My DM is always open. If you guys have question about the league, question about your player, just question even just you want to talk more about my experience in the league so far, happy to do so. Um, there are a lot of rookie mentors and your GMs. Ask questions. That's the only way you kind of learn because we kind of can't we kind of can't assume that people don't know, but there's a learning curve to this. But once you figure it out, once you find your niche in the league, like it's so much easier and so much more fun. And I can't guarantee that everybody here will turn out to be all stars or have like incredible numbers. That's not how that works. Uh, but I do wish for everybody here to have a long and just incredible career, whatever team that you may end up on. Uh, so best of luck to you guys. I will. Effort is key. Yeah, there's effort involved in this, so it's not like you can sit back and do nothing and expect stuff to happen. And I've seen that for people before. They kind of expect stuff to just be given to them, and I don't know how that works. That's not how the league works. Your players won't get better without TPE. So if you're not earning TPE, you're kind of stuck being, well, whatever it is. But you have your teammates that you go through this with, and I think the that is the experience that you different than like I know we have a lot of us that play like MLB Road to the Show, and stuff like that. But it's so like it's the same concept, but it's so different because you get to do it with a bunch of other people at the same time. Well, but again, we thank you. There is, let me see. I just want to make sure upcoming, like I said before, the the I just want to make sure the schedule. Where's my stream schedule? I've like, all right, we have, like I said before, tomorrow the minor league draft stream at 2 p.m. We do have the season 28 awards. I do not know what time that is yet, but we'll announce it as soon as we find out. That will be on Sunday evening. And next week on Thursday, that is when spring training starts. So, uh, and there'll be 2 parts of spring training, and that'll be on Thursday and Saturday, and then afterwards the season starts. So, oh, that reminds me that I got things to do. But so hope you guys tune in. Oh, there's actually another stream that is not listed here. It's actually the Tahini Classic. What the Tahini Classic is actually taking all the teams on the PBE, majors and minors, and it goes through a one-game elimination, NCAA bracket style. So anything can happen because even if you have a majors team and a minors team, you know that one in X amount of chances can happen, and that's just fun to see. And that would be, I think that's Monday. I have to double check. And there's chance to, yes, chance to win money too. I believe Hummus posted it already. Let's see. Did he post it? Oh, you know what? I'll double check. But I think that's on Monday or Tuesday, one of those two. But I will have him announce it just so everybody knows. Yeah, and that is it. So everybody, have yourself a great Friday evening. Oh, Smitty, one night only event. I'll be utilizing. Yeah, so I think that was. Oh, November 9th. What is that? November 9th is the Tuesday. Look like he's doing it Tuesday. Okay. Yep. 7 p.m. Uh, yeah, I think there's a good amount of us who hop onto the Discord and just kind of join the stream and just kind of watch there. So there's a bracket in there too. Look for it in the announcements, and I'll definitely have them posted again just in case people miss it. There's a chance to win a decent amount of PBE money there. Tuesday in it. Yes, Tuesday. That is correct. Dark. Tuesday. All right. I think that is it. And have yourself a good night. And is this the right one? Hey. All right. Thank you for joining. Have yourself a good weekend. Bye bye.